Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. I hope you're doing well. I only gonna go on here. What we're gonna do is just look at some updates that came out of DC over the past few days. And yeah, things are still moving forward, but it seems like the people are getting more tired. They're growing tired of it because I notice a lot more people are standing up to these cops. And you'll see it when we get to it. But no, they're not being silent. They're not being scared. They're actually standing in some boldness up in there. So, everybody, I hope you're doing well. For the first 2 hours after I woke up, we had a power outage. And I'm like, okay, the sun is shining. The hell we having a power outage for? But I'm glad everything is back so I can get on with the things I need to do today. So, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the chat. Right. Give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you.
Along U Street corridor here in DC, there are around the same number of protesters as there are police cars as a new youth curfew goes into effect. The curfew applies to minors and runs from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. before the regular curfew kicks in between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Normally, the strip is bustling on the weekends, but it is unprecedented to see this show of police force on a Thursday night.
What was the name on this guy?
¿Cuál es su país, señor?
¿Verdad? Chapín.
You assaulted him.
Right. Disengage with what? So you think
You
you can threaten a
think
police officer, right?
I never threatened
Hey,
you.
you think that's okay, right? You were standing right there with your buddy.
No, he never
I was
threatened
telling you the whole
No,
time.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't
standing right there. What are you talking about then?
I've been tracing my way from last time I seen you. I've been
Why were you threatening in front of
I changed lives right here.
Really? Supervisor, you ain't in front of you. The supervisor standing right in front of you. How would he threaten you in front of the supervisor, though?
I got people talking.
This is wrong.
You come around here starting stuff.
We got data to prove it. We got data to prove
What
it,
you
too.
talking about? You come around here, you told one individual. If
You
I
see,
catch you,
get all this
if
on
I
camera.
catch
You
you
see that?
slipping,
You see all this?
What is mine?
You see all this?
What?
Eating out
You
here.
see the chair, right?
No.
The
Eating
chair.
up.
Yeah, okay.
How many times
That
have I
wasn't
come out
right
here?
when you
And
did
y'all
that,
know
though.
because I was out here yesterday. When I said
You
stop
started
sitting on the
all the
sidewalk
commotion. We
and
was
stop
just
blocking
talking to
passage.
you.
No, I didn't start nothing.
Remember,
I came out here and I told you yesterday.
you asked
I
them a
said, do
question.
not block the sidewalk.
You asked them a
Do not block
question.
these businesses. I told you that.
Okay.
I'm going to
but
come
you
out here
asked
every
them a
day and
question.
do the same thing.
He answered your question.
No, he didn't answer my question. Your man started talking shit the entire time. And then what happened? Oh, take that bag, I'll beat his ass. And what happened? He went running for his life. So go ahead. Keep that in your mind. Because I'm going to come out here. And he's not getting away. I'm going to be right here.
Communication with us.
No, he was talking to me about communication. No, the only thing y'all do is talk shit. And we're done. We're done. We're tired of it. It's over. You're done. You're not going to be a police. I don't know. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
I said, hold on, why you doing that?
Ain't nobody attacking you. It wasn't out of the blue. It's funny how it's out of the blue when you don't remember nothing else that happened.
Because it was you. You initiated
No,
everything.
when did I say I was going to beat his ass? When did I say that?
You attacking me.
Communication where he was
Really?
telling you
Okay.
about
So a police officer getting out to address y'all and tell you that you
How
cannot
you
be out here
address?
breaking the law. No, I told you that already.
You ain't telling me.
Exactly. You weren't out here yesterday. You weren't out here yesterday. You do hang out here.
I don't hang out here.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
He was finishing out events, basically telling us how to communicate with you guys.
And what did I do? I engaged with him, right?
I sat there and I listened to what he had to say.
And then that's what you did.
What I
You
did?
went right back with bad communication with everybody.
How's that bad communication? I asked him. I said, "Did I tell you about your promoter?"
Guess what?
Yeah, I asked him that. That's what I said.
I was like, "How y'all doing today?" Hey, listen.
No.
I did that yesterday. Not going on. No, you did. Yesterday, you came back. You said, "Hey, nobody gonna be right here." This shit
Oh,
is
wait,
going
no.
on.
I did
Exactly
say that.
what you said.
However, what I said was,
that is
what were you doing? You were literally sitting right there. You act like you were sitting.
No, listen.
Yes, I was standing
sat down
right here.
I was
Why
facing
y'all had
this
to
way. So listen what I was saying. I was facing this way. You and your partner was like this over me. I was showing my man about the war against the United States.
You're near to Maryland. So many officers out here, leaving the scene after the communities come together.
Where are you going to go for your
Crazy.
last one?
Arrested someone.
Putting him in this unmarked vehicle. License plate 2RGJ52.
So very weird, creepy police crackdown last night here in Washington, D.C. A couple blocks away from me, actually. The police decided to set up a roadblock to basically stop every car that came by and check people and arrest people. Now, they claimed they were checking for, broken tail lights and seatbelts or whatever. Yeah, sure. They never do this. This was a nice residential neighborhood, actually 14th and W, 14th and V. A friend of mine, Michelle, was filming it. Actually, Jennifer Bendry from Huffington Post grabbed some video too. Let me show you.
Hold on, I'm going.
Here we go.
Yo no tengo nada, señor. Señor. Yo no, por favor. Yo no debo nada, papi. Yo no debo nada. 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 Yo estoy trabajando. Yo no debo nada. 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 Yo trabajo. Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Yo vengo de trabajar. Por favor. Yo vengo de trabajar. Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Yo no soy criminal. 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 Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Brother. 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 Hermano. Vámonos, maldito. ¡Ya! ¡Me está lastimando! ¡Me está lastimando! ¡Me está lastimando!
Sir, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
Yo no debo nada. Mexicano, yo vengo de trabajar. Yo vengo de trabajar. Ayúdame.
What is he being arrested
Yo
for?
quiero estar en mi país con mi familia. Por favor. David Pérez, tío Fanny. Ok. Yo no hice nada. Allá
Can you tell us what he's been charged with?
Carro basura en mi carro. Mi familia tiene papeles. Mi familia y mis hijos. Por favor. Por favor.
Can you tell us what he's been charged with? What agency are you guys with?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, I've lived here for 2 years. I don't think it's a crime-filled place at all. I feel a lot more unsafe seeing military vehicles on my street.
No, this is bad. This is bad because if anything, it gets people irritated, and people get irritated and they do stupid stuff.
Are you happy that they're out in the streets?
I definitely am, yes.
Donald Trump has got the National Guard out in the streets in DC. Is he making the right move?
I believe so. We need it. It's a terrible thing for us to have this much crime.
I just dropped my daughter off as a freshman at George Washington University. We almost didn't want her to come because I don't want her going to school in a militarized zone, right? So actually I'm out here just checking out what's going on and asking the guys about what they're doing here. They all say they're quite bored. There's nothing to do.
Has it felt like DC, the crime has got worse?
I would say absolutely. And I don't see it during the day, but you hear it on the news at night. So it's just been a constant increase.
And is that, do you actually see it, or do you see it being reported on the news?
Being reported on the news. I haven't seen any physical attacks on anybody.
When you say you were nervous about dropping your daughter off at uni, was that because you were worried about all the military on the streets, or you were worried about the crime that they're meant to be a response to?
I'm worried about the militarization of our cities.
Not the crime itself.
No, I lived here before, and this is an incredibly safe city. Of course, it has a couple pockets that are a little less safe, like any city, just like London.
I walk home at night at 2 a.m. all the time. I work late as a single woman in the city, and I feel safe. I feel safe. I've lived in a lot of different cities. I've always felt safe here. I've never felt more unsafe than I have these last 2 weeks, where there are military vehicles patrolling my city and the streets are empty because our community is being harassed.
I'm not stupid. I know the city's unsafe, and they make me feel safe. It's simple as that. You know, anybody who's honest can tell you the same. We should thank them.
If he wanted to address crime, he would address the fact that our schools are underfunded, that there aren't community resources. You know, he frequently complains about kids in the street. If they had places to go, if they had recreation, if they had education, I think a lot of those problems would be solved.
The president says, look, if anything, not only these, if they're not deliberately making the streets safe, they have a deterrent effect.
Well, right here. So you're standing in front of Union Station, okay? But where all the crime takes place is over the other side of the river, and they aren't there. So people always felt safe here. Over there, where people don't feel safe, they aren't there.
So those fellows across the street aren't making you feel any safer?
This is all for show. Just all for show, and tremendous expense.
I live in Columbia Heights. It's a majority Latino community, majority like ethnic community. There's no one out in the streets. Our vendors are gone because the military, the National Guard are harassing everybody who lives there and making all of us feel like we don't belong in our own city. So I think the president is completely out of touch with reality.
Homeland Security Investigations, part of DHS.
Jim, you couldn't even park your car, dumbass. You couldn't even.
They have someone in the car right now.
We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital. And let's just also address one other thing. All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of this city and never have been. And by the way, most of the citizens who live in Washington, D.C. are black. This is not a city that has had any safety for its black citizens for generations. And President Trump is the one who is fixing that with the support of the Metropolitan Police Department, the support of the National Guard. and our federal law enforcement officers. So we're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old, and we're going to get back to the business of protecting the American people and the citizens of Washington, D.C.
Stephen Miller is not only a racist, he's very unprofessional. What kind of official that works at the White House talk like this? I'm serious, y'all. This man is, I bet if we cut his arm off, his bone would say racist on it. I mean, that's how deeply racist this man is. And when has any president been concerned about the safety of Black people? Come on. Know this is fraudulent. And number two, people are upset, and it's coming out more and more each day that all of these feds and the police in there and the National Guard, all they're doing is handcuffing and arresting people on the spot. So they'll just spot somebody walking down the street, approach them, and next thing you know, they're taking them in. Or somebody is sitting at their house and they get arrested just sitting on the stoop. You know, they're not going after no criminals. And that's coming out more and more on these videos. They're just going after random people or somebody getting off from work. And all of a sudden they're being detained. Those are the kind of people they are rounding up. The real criminals, the real troublemakers, they're not touching them. But every day they're boasting about all these arrests they're making, all these arrests. Yeah, but you ain't arresting the ones that really count. You're arresting a bunch of soft targets up in there. So that's been a big complaint coming out of DC. They are not the criminals, they're not touching, they're just going after the soft targets. And that's usually what they do. They'll go after a bunch of targets and then claim they are fixing crime, and they're not fixing anything, y'all. They're not fixing a thing. This is really just a bunch of grandstanding. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. It seems like the people are getting sick of these folks being there, the cops and the National Guard, because I've seen several videos. There were even more I could have gotten, but they had music in the videos. But there's even a lot of people screaming and hollering at the National Guard, get out of my neighborhood, get out of here. We're tired of you. We don't want to be occupied. I'm like, wow, they're not afraid to get up in their faces. Yeah, I don't blame you, Carl. I would stay away from DC too. I think if I was around there, I wouldn't go into DC with all the checkpoints they got set up and checking every car coming in and out of there. No, that would get on my nerve. Well, yeah, I mean, didn't they call Dr. Martin Luther King a communist? They always using that word. I mean, apparently we're everything. And I even heard them calling our folks Marxists. Well, what the hell is a Marxist? And I never heard any parent when I was being raised saying they are a Marxist. I mean, these people just throw any name at us. That's why I don't even pay attention to that kind of stuff, all this communist talk. Stephen Miller looked like one of them Russian communists, don't he? Them little short, bald-headed Russian guys that were communists. That's what he looks like. Mhm. And Stephen Miller, he ain't got nothing but evil on his mind. So, y'all, I just wanted to show you some updates that came out this past week that went on in DC. And, we have our Bible study starting at 2:45. So I hope to see you there. Those of you that won't be there, please enjoy the rest of your day. And around 6:45, I have a premiere coming up. Donald Trump wants to vet 55 million visa holders in the US. So they're going to get that underway, and anybody that's in violation, they will have their visas revoked. So it is getting deep up in here. But one thing I think I know where Donald Trump is going with this whole thing, but I think he needs to focus on other things like the economy and all this inflation that's going on out here, because a lot of people are hurting. And I think he is just focused too much on these cities and I think those things can kind of go on the back burner. He really needs to look at the things that are hurting the people the most, and you heard the stories out here of 300,000 Black women that have lost their jobs just over the past few months. And, those kind of things really should be focused on. I mean, Donald Trump needs to know how to juggle things a little better and not just asphyxiate on DC and occupying it. There's a lot more things a president should be doing. That's all I'm saying. Get these gas prices down, get these grocery prices down. Do something about the people that are struggling out here. There's more things to do than just occupying cities. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Shabbat Shalom, family. And y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.